So record. Okay, so we are back to we are talking about dictionary keys, and we say that only immutable.
Immutable.
So this is the rule, only immutable data type. Now, if you check, which one do you know?
It's tuple now.
Okay, someone said tuple, which means a tuple can be
No,
a key.
tuple.
Which other one do you know? String. Even if you look, we've been
Hmm.
using string. Oh, these ones are string. Another one, integer. Integer is also, maybe we've not mentioned this before, but an integer is an immutable data type, right? So these can be um keys. But remember, the keys must be unique. So you can't have two keys that are the same. Okay. You can't have two keys that they are unique. Okay. So those are about dictionary keys. You just bear that in mind when you're using something to become the keys for your dictionary. You cannot use a list because a list can change. You can't use what again? You can't use a dictionary. Dictionary is mutable. Dictionary is also mutable. So if we say immutable, we've listed these ones. Mutable, dictionary is mutable. It can be updated, can change its values. You can change the keys. Um, list is mutable. At least we've met those ones so far. Good. Now, setting and updating values. First of all, another thing I did not, this is one way to access items in dictionary. The second one will be like this: print person dot get. You can use dot get and I say age. Okay, it's almost the same, but this is the popular one. Most times it's accessed this way with the square bracket. But just know that you have the get method. You can get an item from. You can see the age came out 23. I save it and run. See the age. We printed both the salary and the age came out 20. So you can use it to get method to access items. Now we go to this point, setting and updating values. So how do we add values to a dictionary? This dictionary now, we added this value on creation. We've done this. We can update the value because it's mutable. You can also add another value. So you see here, we have this already typed. Person, age, is just the same way you access the age. So you get the key and then you assign it a new value. So once I do this now, I'm going to update this age to 30. Okay. So this is how you update a value in a dictionary. Now you can also add a key that doesn't exist in the dictionary. So what can we add again? Height. I can say height. I'm putting the person's height. Let's say now is 1.8 meter. So I just put 1.8. When I do this, I'm setting this value, this key, and then this value into dictionary. So let's now print the dictionary at this point so we'll see it, what's happening. So let's print it and then let's turn this one to comment so they don't print, save, and run. So you can look at the dictionary now. I've printed it. You can see there's a key now called height, and the value is 1.8 because we have set it here. And then the age now has been updated to 30. So that's how you set an update. Another way to set an update, you can call the, I think it's dot update. You have dot update, but when you call dot update, you're going to put key value pairs. So you can just put it as if dictionary. I can say weight. Weight now is how much the person is weighing. Say 80 kg. Okay, so I'm updating it by adding weight in this structure. You can save it and run and see the dictionary again. You can see now it has weight in it. Okay. Now removing key value pairs. So there are two ways to remove key value pairs from a dictionary. We can use the del keyword, like this del person. Then what do I want to remove? Let's say I want to remove the height. So this way, you're going to remove the height from the dictionary. Okay. So you can save it and run it. You see that I'm going to remove height, so there should be no more height in this dictionary. So you can see there was height before, but now there's no more height. I've removed it with the del keyword. Or you can use dot pop. You can do dot pop, and then I'm going to call the key. So I'm going to pop age. So I save it, then I run it. So you can see in our dictionary, age has gone up. Now, but there's something about pop. Whenever we are using dot pop, I think there's pop in list. You can pop an item from the list. When you're dealing with list and you say dot, sorry, I'm going to go back to list a bit. I'm not sure we'll talk much about popping in list, but let's just talk about it now before we now say it here. When you call pop in list, okay, if I call the pop on a list and I do not put any argument, it's going to pop the last item that was added to that list, because list is ordered. The first item, the second item, like that. And dictionary now is ordered. Before, dictionary don't used to be ordered in Python, but now it's ordered. So if I call dot pop without specifying like this, it's going to remove weight, which is the last thing we added. Okay. But otherwise, I put the key of what I want to remove. I'm going to do that. The same thing with list. When you're working with list, dot pop, if you don't supply any parameter, it removes the last item that was added to the list. Then if you want to remove item in a particular index, then you supply that index. Okay. Now the thing about pop, the beautiful thing about pop is you can catch what you're removing. So if I wanted to remove age and keep it somewhere, maybe I can say A is equal to this. Then I can also print A. So you see, let's save it and clear our screen, then run. Now observe this. I removed the age from the dictionary, but I printed it here. Okay, let me do an F string so that age can appreciate it more. Okay, something like so you just see. So you can see where I printed the age. I removed it, I popped it, and stored it in a variable. I'm saying this because there are scenarios where you want to remove something from a data structure, but you want to catch it, what was deleted, you want to keep it somewhere else, you want to use something. So you can imagine a scenario where maybe you have, I'm going to call something now like um, a stack of plates. One plate on top another. That's a stack of plates. Then let's imagine we want to just take the last plate and do something with it. So when you remove the plate from the stack, the plate should no longer be in the stack, but you need the plate to put food in the plate. right? So you're
Okay.
deleting it from the stack, but you're not throwing the plate away, you're using it for something. So that's where pop comes, something like pop comes in. It's you're removing it, but you're using it somewhere, taking it somewhere, something like that. But when you use del, it just deletes. But when you use pop, you can store it as a variable, pop it into a variable and use it somewhere else. So all these things, depending on what you're doing,
Using
you're
it for.
writing, problem you're solving, these are like tools that you're not having in your, toolbox. Okay. Any
Okay.
question?
Mm.
All right. Now, we can access the keys in a dictionary, all of them at once, using this. So I can say print person. The name of our dictionary now is person dot keys. Okay. Person dot keys. So let me make this one comment. So it doesn't print again. I will now save it. Clear. Run. So now what I'm printing is the what? The keys. Now you see what is returned, dict keys, and then it contains a list of name, country, points, job, and weights. So those are like a list of the keys. So if you want to know all the keys in a dictionary, you can use dictionary.keys. So the name of the dictionary.keys gives you a list of the keys. Now, if you want the values, you can have this person dot values. Okay. This one now will give you all the values, a list. It will create a list of all the values. So the other one brings a list of all the keys. But this list is technical. You can't just access items easily. So let's try something now. Let's say I want to access this item name, the first item in this list. Normally, I would access it using index of 0, but we'll save it and see what happens if we can access it that way. Can you see something? Dict keys object is not subscriptable. So even though it is, if you watch what was printed here as the keys, it's like a list in these dict keys. So if you really want to get it out totally as a list, you needed to convert it. So I need to convert it first. So if I say list person dot keys, then I can access the first item of 0. Let me unpack what is here. What I'm saying is you can say P equal or P is equal, K is equal to person dot keys. Okay. So I'm taking all the keys and assigning it to this variable. Now I can now convert that variable to a list. I have to convert to a list because if I try to access it, I'll have this type error. It's not subscriptable because this is the way it looks. When you look at it like this is how it is. So if you want to make it like a normal list that you can easily access, you first will convert to a list before you can then say print. Then K of one of the 0 item, then to print for you. So all of this is just the same thing as what's happening in this line. Here, I just unpack it so that we can understand what's happening there. Yeah, but let's just put this one as comment so that it doesn't disturb us later. So we can, let me just remove this one back to what it was. I just thought I should throw that in because you might just know that, okay, I can get a list of the values of the keys. You not get the list. You want to go and collect one of them. You will start having errors. You'll be confused. Just change it to a proper list and that's it. So you can have the values and then you can have another one for the items. Person dot dict dot items. Now, this one gives you the keys, this one gives you the values. Now, this dot items gives you the key and the value. The key and the value together. So let's save this and clear again. So we'll see what all of those give us. Now you have the dict keys, you have the dict values. So this is just a list of only the values. Now this third one, the items, is now having something I want us to look at carefully. It's another list of the items, but they came as a list containing tuples. Let me copy it like if I can. So we'll see how it came. Like this, copy. It's long, but let's look at this. This is a list, but the items in this list are tuples. So watch, the first item is this, which is a tuple and contains two elements. The first element is the key, and the second element is the value, right? Can we see that?
Yes.
This is how when you run dig.items, it come. And in fact, this was why I wanted us to talk about tuple, so that when you see this, you will not be confused. This is a tuple. So it's unpacking the dictionary keys and value into tuples for you to use for further processing if you need. Okay, so someone can do something like this for key, for my item in person dot items. You see, someone can unpack like this now and say print e print value val. Okay, I called it okay. Instead of let me call it, instead of calling it items, let me call it value. So someone can go like this for key, comma items in person, print key, print value. Now, hope this is not a bit confusing for us. This thing I just wrote here. Remember, when we talk about unpacking, I think we've mentioned it before. If you have a list, you have a list of item A, comma, item B, and any amount, you can unpack them like this. You can unpack this list into variables by saying, I can do this. Let's say this is air and this is car. So if you have a list of two items, and I want, instead of me to say, instead of me to put this like this, A equal to, how do I put it now? Let's say this list is like this. Sorry, I'm just going to, let's say L is equal to this. And I can say A is equal to L of 0. Okay. And then say B is equal to L of 1. So this is like saying let the first element be in A and the second element be in B. Instead of doing all of this kind of arrangement, I can just unpack it like this. A comma B is equal to air and car. So if you unpack it like this and print A will be air, B will be car, straight up. Okay. Now,
Okay.
following similar logic, if you say it was a tuple now instead of a list, let's assume it was a tuple, the same thing happens, right? So that's what's going on here. When you say for key, comma value in person dot items. So in person dot item, the first item will come as this. Then you unpack it. Key will now take name, value will now take John. So that you can have, if you go through the textbook now, you see where they did something similar to this. For key, comma value in person dot items, you can print the key, you can print the value. But person dot items is actually a list of tuples. These tuples contain the key and the value, the key and the value. So these are ways you can unpack your dictionary. If you want to get the keys, if you want to get the values, a list of only the values. If you want to get the items, the key and value pair. Um, Let me check this. Sorry, guys. I think Nigerian match should have started. Abby,
Mm.
Sir, 9 o'clock, 9 o'clock
Mm.
Nigerian
it
time.
has not reached.
9 o'clock Nigerian time. I'm also
Okay.
watching
I
TV.
don't play that kind play. Oh.
9 o'clock. I just wanted to check. I thought it's okay, okay. So we have small
Yeah,
time to. I wanted us to stop at exactly like 8:30 Nigerian time so that we go and relax and watch
Mm.
our man.
8:40 or 8:50, then we can log out.
It's
Eight
already
forty,
No, 8:50
8:41.
is
I
too
don't know
bad.
what your time
8:50
is.
is too bad, oh, Babed.
8:41.
8:45. Let's
Yes, you
target
got
8:45. In the
For
next
additional 4 minutes.
all
the
right.
next
Why?
7 minutes.
I think it's
Four
fast food.
4 minutes. This is 8:41 here.
No, your time is not correct.
Your
This is
time
Who
is
told you?
correct
37.
too. It's
Who told
37.
you?
37.
Don't worry, in the
Mm.
next 7 minutes,
You want to close before time.
You
go.
people are faster than the creator.
Uh,
Hmm.
now I don't see your plan. You know what?
Okay, so I'm going to delete all this on having that understanding that we understand how these things are. I'll delete all of them. Now, this actually, let me remove this. So we are just here talking about what was this section now? This section was just the keys, the values, and the items. Let me remove all this.
Looping.
So now we are now in looping. So in looping, that's where actually you do something like this. So if you want to loop through the um the dictionary, getting the keys and the value, you can look through person dot items. Someone can also do this for v in person dot values. Okay, in person dot values. Remember, person dot values will bring like a list of no. Sorry, let me just use K for K in persons dot keys. No, let's not do values. I can also come and say person K because I'm calling out all the keys one by one. So for K in person dot keys, each key is a list of keys. So I'll get the keys one by one. Then I can go back and be saying person key. I go to the dictionary and use the key and get the value. Let's say I wanted to perform operation on all the values in a dictionary. I can do something like this for key in person dot keys, which is like for keys in person dot keys. Then I'll call the first key person. I get the key and I'll get the value. Then I do some operation. It's another way. You can also loop through for X in persons. Actually, if you do this for X in person, is actually going to return the same. These two are the same. This K in person, we person dot keys will get the K. But if you do for X in person, this will also get the key. This will also get the key. For X in person, will also bring the key to you. So whenever you just loop through a dictionary directly like this, is the keys you're going to loop through. So let's see we can say print. Let's print this X and see what it is. Let's turn on this one to list, save, then run. So you can see what else is printing. Let's turn all these ones off. Save. And clear. Then run it again. So you can see it just printed the keys. That's what I'm trying to tell you, that for X in persons, when you print X, you're just dealing with the keys. So you can actually still do the same person and then access X, each key one by one. So this was the same thing as this. That's what I was just trying to show you. They are just the same thing. Okay. And then this is another way you can look through the item. So what are we showing all these things to you? Depending on how you want to look through, you can use any of them based on the way you want to arrange your code and achieve something.
Sorry,
Now,
sir. He said with the first line there, the first loop for K in person.keys. Will he give the same result with what the last one?
to give this, so let's check it out. Let's comment this and let's comment this as so they don't disturb. And then let's now print K.
Okay.
K. Right, save it and then we run. So you can see the previous one we ran, you can see what came out here.
Mm-hmm.
And when we run this second one, you can see that they are the same thing.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Mm.
Let's comment this and let's also see what this looks like. This one here, we save, clear, and run. So you can see this one now is printing. Remember, we say key, then value, key, then value. So the key here is name, is John. The second one, the key is country, United
Both
Kingdom.
of them.
So you see, it's printing both of them like that. These are how you unpack and look through the dictionary and do operations on them.
Okay.
Now, all this is we are just giving is like teaching theory. If you go back to the book, read it again, now you understand the chapter more. Then
Mm.
look at the examples and then try to solve problems with it. So you then begin to appreciate the use of dictionaries. Okay. Right? It's a very powerful structure you can use to achieve many things. And those exercises are there to help us, stimulate us a little bit. And remember, what do companies want? Analytical skills. Can you think through problems, analyze things? Can you now see a problem and know whether I should use a list or I should use a dictionary? If you've not been doing the exercises, you can't know. You just see a problem, you don't know whether it should be a list, it should be a dictionary, it should be a tuple. These are where when you go to those problems, they help you put this thing into your brain very well. Then you will now begin to know which one to choose and when to choose them.
Okay.
So if you're faced with an interview question and someone asks you solve a problem, it will not tell you whether you should use list or dictionary. Just tell you this is the problem. You're the one to bring your own solution. There are solutions you can use list, you can still use dictionary. But based on how you see it, you can tell him that you use a dictionary or you use a list. Later, when we get to data structures and algorithms, you will now know more about how to say things like, I'll use a dictionary because it's more efficient, like this, or let me use a list because of this operation I want to. So you can add more saying to why you use what. Okay. So lastly, we want to copy the dictionary. If you want to take a copy of the dictionary, we can say, let's say P can be equal to person dot copy. So that's it. These are you copy a dictionary into another distance. So P equal person dot copy. So this is it for dictionary. At least we've gone through the key aspects of the dictionary in this class now. I don't know if we have any question. 45.
I just want to find out how soon will you post the video, please? I know you're too busy.
Before tomorrow, I'm posting.
God bless you. Thank you.
Yeah. Make I go watch match.
It's next question.
Up Nigeria,
night.
up Nigeria. Good night. Let's go and watch the match.
All
Take
right.
care,
Good night.
BP.
All right.
No worry about BP. Nothing happen.
We
I
don't
will
lose
sit
5
back
here.
and watch
We don't lose 5 here already. Why
No
people?
problem.
I have my glass of water. I can't be afraid.
We don't want additional
Sharing.
question.
Can I stop recording?